would have thought we would have made it this far, man. But we here today to show y'all that we here. Like, for real, we here, man. Bro, how you feeling, bro?
We've had some great guests on the show, and I'm excited for the people to continue to get more of us doing what we do naturally anyway.
Facts, man. You know, we talk on a day-to-day basis, man. Mentally, checking on the kids, checking on the, you know what I'm saying, spouse, whatever it may be, man. We diving deep in this thing, man. But
every time. So, bro, you know, we spoke to D. Reeves about concussions and injuries and how that affects. And I know, you know, for me, you remember when my junior year, I messed up my knee, and I know what that did to me mentally. Like, my mental health was all off.
Right.
You just experienced a significant injury this last season at the end of the season. How did that impact your mental health, and what do you think it does to other people who don't really know how to get back in the mind frame of doing different work and getting back into it?
It was a wake-up call. It was a moment of understanding myself again, being back in tune of who I am, and just gradually trying to grow and evolve. But you know, that night when it happened, I was miserable. I was like, man, why did this have to happen? You know what I mean? Like, right now, like, what does this mean? Like, what's going on? Like, I didn't understand any of those things. But
yeah,
it was a tough moment, man, because, you know, you think about an injury, man, you think about the timetable for you able to get back. You know, mentally, man, it's tough, bro.
Right.
It really is tough. But I will say that when you're going through it, you see yourself a lot in a different angle, because every day is not going to be the same. Every day is different, you know? And I will say for the people out here that's listening, man, when you go through an injury, man, don't get discouraged, man. Do not get discouraged, man. It's tough. You have your times where you want to try to give up, but at the end of the day, you know there's light at the tunnel, and you will see through, and you will be back at yourself again, man. You haven't really talked about your injury like that to everybody out there, man. Like, how did that affect you in Ohio State, man? I remember that day, man.
I only been injured one other time, and that was my freshman year in college. I had tore my labrum.
Right.
But I came back stronger from that. Yeah. We was at Ohio State. I remember it was some kind of twist. I picked him up. It was a dead play, and then I got pushed after the play and landed on my kneecap. And I knew then that something was very wrong because I felt the pop. And so I go to the sideline. I'm there, and then my replacement came in, and he got hurt 2 plays later.
I remember that, bro.
Yep. And so I'm looking on the screen, and, you know, for everybody, I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. So Ohio State, I had 30 family members who had got T-shirts made. Literally, I had a whole crowd. It was 110,000 people there, and I had a space in there with people with my name on their shirts. And I looked up, and I seen my replacement get hurt. And we didn't really have no O-lineman after that.
No, we didn't.
I put my helmet back on, and I told coach I wanted to play. I played the rest of the game on one leg. And there's a news article about it and everything. And bro, it was so much going on because I left that game. I don't know if you remember. I left that game with my family because my grandmother was in hospice. She was dying. My great grandmother was dying.
I remember that.
And so I drove back. I think it was like 4 hours back to the crib, and I couldn't walk when I got to the crib. And you know, she ended up dying. And to me, it was like she waited till I got there before she passed away. Right. And it hurt, bro. It was too much going on. And then I came back to Birmingham and got the opportunity. They were like, all right, well, do you want to have surgery now? Or you want to wait till after the season? I wanted to play. So I played that whole season on one leg, and I don't regret it. You know what I'm saying? But I realized like that in that moment, it was like I had faced one of the biggest adversities of something that has never hurt me. And I got hurt from somebody pushing me, and it essentially ended my career, not in that moment, but later on down the line. And bro, that was like a rippling effect for me. And just a quick story to tell you. So, and this is recent. I go to stretch therapy now because my body just be feeling crazy. And I was stretching one day, and I was telling one of the younger guys that was in there about me being left off the senior poster my senior year after I just came back from injury and play injured, right? And I told him about how I felt. And it was something I never dived into. You know what I mean? I kind of just like I put up a wall. I never went back to UAB. It was like it was traumatic for me.
Yeah.
And bro, I got in the car and started crying, like weeping. You know, and I'm glad we got this space because it allows me to open up like stuff like that.
Right. A lot of people don't see that, bro.
Man, bro. And it runs so deep. So, you know, I want to ask you, like, what have you learned about yourself since we started this podcast?
Oh man, I've learned to really check myself again, bro.
Yeah.
Really look at myself in the mirror and be like, man, you know, this is something that is healing me because I don't know if a lot of people realize, man, like, and I'm gonna be open, man. It's an open space, man. Vulnerable
Absolutely.
space, man. My brother he knows what's going on, but like recently, man, I just you know, got divorced, man, and this is one of them things where the podcast is really helping me to look at myself and evolve into myself again as a person of who Chris Hubbard really truly is again, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know, man. Like I've battled through the whole last year of being separated through my ex-wife now. But those were tough times, man, where that I thought that, you know what I mean, like this is something that I want to fight hard for. You know, I love this one. What have you learned about yourself, bro?
Man, I learned that being able to talk about some of the stuff that I hold in is like my therapy. I know therapy in our communities is kind of looked at with a negative stigma. Yeah. And honestly, like when my father was murdered when I was 17, bro, I tried therapy and I looked and it was a white male. And for me, it just didn't sit right anyway, because we didn't come from the same area. So the stuff that I'm about to tell you, you're not going to be able to really relate to. So I stopped doing therapy then. I heal on a daily basis by helping other people heal.
Right.
So, you know, I see myself in a lot of the youth that I work with, even the situations and circumstances that they deal with that I've been through. It's like I'm constantly healing, man. And this space is another added layer of healing for me. You know what I mean? Like, even what I just told you about my knee, bro. Like I'm healing even more by being able to express that. You know what I mean? There were so many feelings that football, like, it's crazy because football ended up being like a savior for me.
Yeah.
But it also ended up being extremely traumatic for me because of the things that I had to go through to even prove who I was on the field. You know what I'm saying? And so this podcast allows me to give me 100% of me, and I couldn't be more vulnerable with anybody else but my brother. Well, who else would I want to, you know what I mean? Like, this is what it's for. And it's for, and it's good to have another Black man who is in tune with himself enough to know that it is okay and is not looked at as weak if you feel like crying or sad or regular human emotions. You know what I mean? What do you want the listeners to gain from this podcast, bro?
I want the listeners to fully be aware of themselves, man.
Yeah.
Be honest and open about, you know, what they feel, what they endure, the past traumas that they have faced. Are they able to fully be in tune with those traumas? Because some of those traumas lead on into the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
A lot of us don't deal with those traumas until we get into like relationships, and we have friends that we kind of like may lash out on now, and they're just being there to help us out, bro. But
right.
We don't know why we're doing this because we haven't checked in with ourselves. I still do therapy here and there, bro. Like, just to, you know, I said, to do my check-in, bro. That's one of those things that I do. Sometimes I might feel good. Some days I'll be like, man, I don't feel like doing none of this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
for sure.
Like, that's just what it is and what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Because that you are human, you have those feelings. Don't think you just going around here being a robot, because you're not, bro. You're a human. Yeah. You have feelings, you have emotions, you have all these types of things that going around through life itself. Whether you're a father, whether you're a mother, whether you auntie, uncle, you still, man, grandmother, auntie, everybody out there, man, they still have these challenges, and it's important to check in, bro.
For sure.
Again, man, like anybody out here listen to this podcast, man, check in with yourself, bro. Have those moments with yourself. Meditate with yourself.
Yeah.
Like literally, man, because it's important for yourself. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, you have to go to sleep knowing that I have to do this. Like if you're being honest and you're God's watching over you, and you wake up the next day, you have to do life again, man. It's not just gonna be, granted like that to you.
Right.
Like literally.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Hey, that release, bro. That's
like
that's what this is, bro. This is a release.
Exactly, bro.
I think I definitely want I want people to know that it's okay to not be okay during this podcast, because they're gonna realize, like, yeah, we started a podcast with two people who are actively healing. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's important. And I also want people to realize, like, healing isn't a sprint. Healing is literally a marathon to the end of your life, because a lot of the circumstances and situations that you're healing from will never go away.
Right.
That trauma that we experience that just we can't get over, it's not for you to get over. It's for you to heal it a little bit, enough for you to enjoy the rest of your life and enjoy what you do without it being that barrier that stops you from doing what you love to do. You know what I'm saying? And so, I want people to really, really, really hone in on that, man, because it's absolutely a marathon, and it's a daily struggle. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have good days. You're going to have days where it's just like, F it, but always remember, and I live by this, there are no such thing as bad days. There's only bad moments. Don't let one moment dictate the rest of your day.
You feeling all right now? You gonna chill right here? You gonna finish the show with us? You gonna be quiet on the show? You sure? All right, man. I feel like we can get back into this thing, man. What has all of this transpired to teach you about your mental health?
I wanted to create a clothing line, and this is my clothing line, Struggle Made Me. I could motivate people with what they wear. So Struggle Made Me clothing is a daily reminder that we're stronger than what we go through. And so on every piece of clothing, I put a message. You know what I mean? I put a little quote for myself, just because every piece of garment is a part of me. And it's not just my struggles, it's everybody's struggle. Everybody struggles with something. And then I'm a social worker, so everything aligns with struggle, healing, doing better so that we can be better, uplifting our people, saving these kids, doing the work that needs to happen in order for this to work for our kids that we bringing up. Right. So it's been amazing, and like I said, bro, it's been a daily healing. Like, it gets tough, like being a business owner, being a home-based caseworker, but I know that, at the end of my life, I'm gonna be able to look back and say, I truly gave everything that I could. What have you learned about mental health? Everybody has this stigma about, NFL players, about they really don't think y'all go through much because you got money. People always associate less struggle because of more money, and that is not the case at all. I don't know what who said Biggie, more money, more problems.
More money, more problems, dog. You know about it,
right? So, what has it done for you?
Man, it's been an eye-opener, bro. Like, I really truly believe, like, I didn't know what mental health was, man, until facing the income and facing these different challenges, these responsibilities that you have to be a part of, bro. Like, it's really one of those things that, man, you go through life, you don't really see it, you don't really feel it, because you think you're okay. You know what I mean? Those past little traumas that you've been through as a kid, man, those things may be okay. But then when you're facing to reality, when you have a lot of responsibilities, and then you have everything else going on in your life, and you're trying to balance this and balance that, bro, it becomes to be a little bit overwhelming towards you. Right. And I will be open and honest with this. I think I said this earlier on the show, bro, like, about like the concussions. Man, with the concussion, when I got a concussion, Detroit Lions game, we played Pittsburgh. It was a night game in Detroit, and I remember one specific play. Man, it was a tackle trap pull play, that I had to pull and I had to trap the defensive lineman. I immediately attacked the defensive lineman, but I went down the youth and I turned my head a weirdly way. And man, I end up having a concussion, bro. Like I heard loud ringing in my ear and I saw like, you know, darkness when I had my eyes open, bro, and I saw darkness. Like that's a scary feeling, bro.
Yeah.
And, you know, we talk about mental health and we see guys that have concussions. We see people in the league today, man, that are taking, you know what I'm saying, taking their life due to CTE, bro. Like it really is real, man, and it really deals with mental health, bro. Like people don't understand the severity of those two combining along with each other. Has mental health ever like impacted your romantic relationship for you?
Who? This is what you're doing today, okay.
Yeah, we just man, why not, bro? Why not?
Okay, I see where we're going with this.
Why not?
Nah, for sure. This is a safe space. Mental health to me affects a lot of relationships. If you look at rates of breaking up and / divorce, and you look at reasoning behind it, right? One thing I used to say back in the day is like, I think we bring trauma into our relationships and we expect the other person to fix some of the trauma, right? But that's not a real assessment of your personal trauma, because nobody can fix what you deal with internally. A lot of people, you know, you just say you're going through a divorce, and you know, what did you learn about yourself? Y'all been together since college. I remember the day you got married. I was so pissed when we was at practice and I couldn't come.
I know.
I was so mad, bro. I'm looking at coach like, oh, I want to put this pause on you.
What's crazy though, man? We can go like what's crazy. I was trying to get everybody to come, man, because it was just like, man, like these my boys, man. Like everybody on, like these my dogs, bro. Like so, yeah. I wanted everybody to come, but it was just like that time it was spring ball, bro. You know, it was spring ball. Coaches was being hard on everybody, but luckily, man, they made it to where I can be able to get married, man. Thank God for them to be able to do something, like a big moment in time in my life, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What have you learned about yourself?
Man, I learned so much about myself because I got married at 21.
Right.
People don't know that I got married at 21, bro. Like young, fresh.
That's prime time.
Like right in the midst of college, bro. Yeah. Right in the midst of, we've literally went through a whole season.
Yeah.
Together, and then a whole another senior season together, getting married. She was doing everything possible to help me out, to make ends meet, to man, every little thing, bro. Make sure I'm at workouts and all that stuff, man. Making sure I'm getting my work done.
Yeah.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Tam, man, my dog, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. She really was there for me, bro. Like,
right, for sure.
Genuinely was there for me, bro.
For sure.
I kind of ran, you know what I'm saying? And I know where I got that running from, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I wasn't taught how to stick things through in tough situations. I wasn't taught those things, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, for me, man, I could go back until where my mother, when she was married to my stepfather. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like they're not married, man, and you know, anymore. And I've never seen a prestigious marriage unless it was my grandmother and my grandfather. But you know, I just saw him being a man and being able to work and being able to be there for, you know, my grandmother in ways that that you thought were right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. That's what we were taught. But you know, in my certain situation, man, I wasn't always there for that woman that I loved, and I wasn't there from the beginning, but I was there when our son was due. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was there when he was born, but I wasn't there when she first went to the hospital, like things like that, bro. Like I wasn't there for her, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like her situations that I ran from, I thought that I was doing right, and I wasn't at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel like I had a lot of parts to do with, you know, I'm in a certain situation that we are now. But the things that I had to learn is that, man, we are not perfect. We don't understand. We don't know these things at certain times. Why are we doing them?
Right.
I look back now and be like, dang, man, this is why, like, the way you are, man, because I wasn't taught those things, bro.
Right.
If I would have gave my time to, you know, be there and like kind of wait for us to get married, man, and go back, like if I would have did that, then that probably would have helped us out in the long run. But
sure,
you know, I was in love. I was in love. I definitely,
sure.
And I still do love her, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's not gonna change. Like I said before, that's the mother of my child, man. But I will say that it has opened my eyes and being able to communicate, because I sucked at that, being able to communicate my feelings and what I feel.
And thank you for being that vulnerable in our space, brother. That a lot of the stuff we just talked about, but it's hard to talk publicly about that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Especially when the moments be so deep as they are. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
bro, I can remember those emotions so vividly of when I felt how I felt and what I was like prepared. And it goes into like, you know, people think that like suicide. You know what I'm saying? Like, people believe like it's a weak emotion, and I hate when people say it, because you never know what somebody's going through, and people don't realize like there's a chemical imbalance when you have trauma to your brain, and so your brain can literally change. It can change you from a functional person to thinking clearly to somebody who doesn't know what clear thinking is. Literally, that's how strong trauma is. And so, you know, I brought that up to say, like, anybody that's listening, anybody that even gets a glimpse of this, man, it is okay to not be okay. And if you are not feeling your best self and you are feeling emotions that you don't know how to handle, please reach out to somebody you trust. Please reach out to somebody that you can lean on. It is okay to ask for help. It is okay to be experiencing depression. Just reach out, man. We're in a world right now where we're watching literally people lash out daily, and they're lashing out and killing people. Because, and I'm not going to, you know, make it as an excuse, but a lot of people have been ignored who have reached out for help from people that they thought that they could depend on and trust. And then it just becomes this ball of trauma. And so if you are one of those people who feel like that, man, you can even reach out to us, or you know what I mean? If there's something that you're going through and you just feel like there's nobody to talk to, please reach out to either one of us. Our social medias are on this podcast everywhere. We are open and honest about stuff, and we are not too big to talk to anybody. We respond back, and please reach out, man.
Man, jumping into this question, man, we got a question from, you know, a good brother of ours, man, Kappa Man 1911, you know, on Instagram.
Yeah,
man, he had a great question, man. He asked us, like, why are children still facing the same trauma we face as kids?
I think we have to change our own narratives and allow kids to be kids for the full term that they are kids. And what I mean by that is, you know, in our communities, once you turn a certain age, you're a grown man. And unfortunately, society has deemed our kids grown men when they're not. And so a lot of kids are coming up having to do the same exact things that we had to do. And the only way we change it is to stop normalizing the bullshit that we normalize. You know what I'm saying? Like, we normalize so much stuff that is
ain't even funny, bro.
Yeah, like, it's not supposed to be normal. It's sick. No.
If you don't have that inner spirit, right, bro?
Yeah.
It can only take you so far in this world, bro. Literally.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. Man, hey. Oh, Lord have mercy, we did it again, brother.
Hey, what you got? What you got?
We did it again, brother. We had this here. This talk here, brother.
Bro.
It
was needed, bro.
We got that shovel and dug deep today. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you gotta dig deep sometimes, though.
Hey, and here's a fun fact. the root of mental health stigma among Black people can be traced back to slavery. At that time, it was commonly thought that slaves were not sophisticated enough to develop depression, anxiety, or other mental health disorders. From those historic misconceptions, we learn to ignore mental health and call it other terms like stress and being tired.
I appreciate you for that fun fact, bro. That was real. I really enjoyed that, man.
For sure.
A lot of people need to hear that, man, because it's important, bro.
It's
really
important.
It's important, bro. Man, like you said, bro, we done dove deep in this thing, man. I'm excited about the next one. We ain't even got there yet, bro.
Ooh-wee. I mean, this is literally my highlight of my Tuesdays, man. I schedule everything around this. So
this is therapeutic, man. This is informational.
Hey, this is love. This is this is a love podcast, safe space. Pull up on us, send us messages and let us know what you think, how you feel, what more you want to see, and just let us know, man. We ready. We're gonna turn up every time.